America is on edge. The 2024 presidential election pits Vice President Kamala Harris against former President Donald Trump in a rematch for the ages. The stakes couldn't be higher. The nation is deeply divided, grappling with economic uncertainty, social unrest, and a global pandemic that refuses to fully release its grip. Every vote feels like a referendum on the soul of America. Harris, the first woman of color on a major party ticket, represents hope and change for many. Her supporters see her as a steady hand, a seasoned leader who can unite a fractured nation. Trump, on the other hand, remains a polarizing figure. His supporters view him as a fearless outsider, a disruptor who will shake up the status quo. With just weeks to go, the race is incredibly tight. Both candidates are pulling out all the stops, crisscrossing the country in a desperate bid to sway undecided voters. The world is watching, holding its breath as America prepares to choose its future. This election is about more than just two candidates. It's about the direction of our country. It's about our values, our priorities, our very identity as a nation. Will we choose unity or division, progress or regression? The answer lies in the hands of the American people. The final weeks of the campaign have become a full-blown battleground blitz. Both Harris and Trump are laser-focused on a handful of key states that will decide the election: Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, and Georgia. Harris is focusing on turning out her base, particularly Black and Latino voters, while also appealing to suburban women who may be disillusioned with Trump. She's holding rallies, town halls, and get-out-the-vote events, emphasizing her message of unity and progress. Trump, meanwhile, is sticking to his tried-and-true playbook, holding massive rallies, attacking the media, and making baseless claims of voter fraud. He's hoping to energize his core supporters and suppress turnout among Democratic voters. Early voting numbers are breaking records across the country, suggesting a high level of voter enthusiasm, but it's still too early to say who has the advantage. The outcome of this election may very well come down to which campaign can get their voters to the polls on Election Day. The Harris and Trump campaigns are a study in contrasts. Harris is running a traditional data-driven campaign, focusing on targeted advertising and voter outreach. She's raised a record amount of money, allowing her to outspend Trump in key states. Trump, on the other hand, is relying more on earned media and his massive social media following. He's also benefiting from a surge in small-dollar donations from his most ardent supporters. But money isn't everything in politics. Message and momentum matter too. And right now, it's unclear who has the edge. Harris is trying to paint Trump as dangerous and unfit for office, while Trump is trying to portray Harris as a radical socialist who will destroy the American way of life. The final weeks of the campaign will be crucial for both candidates as they try to define themselves and their opponents in the minds of voters. This election is about more than just personalities. It's about the issues that matter most to Americans. And in 2024, 3 issues stand out above the rest: healthcare, the economy, and reproductive rights. Healthcare is a top concern for voters, especially in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. Harris is campaigning on expanding access to affordable healthcare, while Trump is promising to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. The economy is always a major issue in presidential elections, and this year is no exception. Harris is promising to create jobs and raise the minimum wage, while Trump is touting his record on the economy before the pandemic. Reproductive rights have also become a flashpoint in the campaign, particularly after the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Harris is vowing to codify abortion rights into law, while Trump is celebrating the court's decision and promising to appoint more conservative judges. These are just some of the issues that will be on the ballot in November. The outcome of this election will have a profound impact on the lives of all Americans. The 2024 campaign trail has been a study in contrasts, reflecting the stark differences between the two candidates. Harris is running a traditional campaign, focusing on policy speeches, town halls, and meet and greets with voters. Trump, on the other hand, is sticking to his signature rally style, holding massive events where he rails against his opponents and fires up his base. Harris's campaign events are often intimate affairs, with the candidate engaging directly with voters, listening to their concerns, and offering detailed policy proposals. Trump's rallies, on the other hand, are more like rock concerts, with loud music, enthusiastic crowds, and plenty of red MAGA hats. The contrasting styles of the two campaigns reflect the different visions they offer for America's future. Harris is campaigning on a message of unity, hope, and progress. Trump is offering a return to the Make America Great Again agenda of his first term. In the 2024 election, the battle for the White House is being fought not just on the ground in key states, but also online in the digital sphere. Social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram have become powerful tools for both campaigns to reach voters, spread their message, and attack their opponents. The Harris campaign is using social media to connect with younger voters, mobilize supporters, and highlight her policy proposals. They're sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses of the campaign trail, posting inspiring videos, and engaging with voters directly in the comments section. Trump, known for his prolific and often provocative use of Twitter, continues to use the platform to attack his opponents, spread misinformation, and rally his base. His tweets often generate headlines, dominating the news cycle and setting the tone for the political conversation. The pervasiveness of social media in the 2024 election has raised concerns about the spread of misinformation and its potential to influence voters. Both campaigns are spending millions of dollars on social media advertising, targeting specific demographics with tailored messages. The 2024 U.S. presidential election is being closely watched by the international community, with global leaders, analysts, and citizens alike eager to see how the outcome will shape America's role in the world. The election of either Harris or Trump would have significant implications for U.S. foreign policy, trade relations, and global alliances. Many world leaders have expressed concern about the potential for a second Trump presidency, fearing a return to his isolationist America First policies. They worry about the impact on global trade, climate change agreements, and the stability of international institutions. The election of Harris, on the other hand, is seen by many as a sign that America is ready to re-engage with the world and reclaim its role as a global leader. Her experience on the world stage as vice president and her commitment to multilateralism have been welcomed by many international observers. The outcome of the election will have far-reaching consequences for the global order, influencing everything from climate change policy to international trade agreements. The world is watching closely as the United States navigates this pivotal moment in its history. As the 2024 U.S. presidential election enters its final days, the nation holds its breath, bracing for an outcome that remains uncertain. Polls show a race that is too close to call, with Harris and Trump virtually tied in many key battleground states. Political analysts are cautiously weighing the factors that could tip the scales in either direction. Will it be voter turnout, particularly among young and minority voters, that determines the winner? Will the economy, still recovering from the pandemic, play a decisive role? Or will it come down to a handful of undecided voters in a few crucial states? The only certainty is that the outcome of this election will have profound implications for the future of the United States. A Harris victory would usher in a new era of American politics, with a focus on unity, progress, and a more inclusive vision for the nation. A Trump victory, on the other hand, would signal a continuation of the divisive rhetoric and policies that have defined his presidency. As the clock ticks down to Election Day, the nation stands at a crossroads, facing a choice between two dramatically different paths. The decision rests in the hands of the American people. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more trending news.